Hi everyone, welcome back to another Ross review. This week on the show we've got a 1988 E30 M3. This Group A homologation is one of the most successful touring cars ever made. And today, we're gonna drive it. The BMW E30 M3 was built for one reason and one reason only: to kick Mercedes' ass. Back in the early 80s, Mercedes was killing it in the DTM racing series with their 190E Cosworth variant race car, and BMW had had enough. So what'd they do? They took their standard E30 3 Series, stripped it out, and started from scratch. This thing had boxy flared arches, huge rear wing, upgraded brakes, rotors, gearbox, basically the whole thing. Now, to comply with the Group A homologation rules, BMW was forced to produce 5,000 road-going M3s to be sold to the public. And to BMW's surprise, they sold the lot. Now, back on the racetrack, the E30 M3 was killing it, having won more road races than any other model in history. It won the 24-hour Nürburgring 5 times and the Spa 24 hours 4 times. The E30 M3 is considered by many to be the world's most successful road race car. Now, as you can see from the intro, I did get to film 2 M3s cruising together. The black one we do get to review today. The white one was a fully built track weapon, which I was just lucky enough to see on the road as it did have a day permit. It's truly a sight to see, and is actually up for sale. So if anyone's interested in having a look, I'll leave a full mods list in the description below and where to check it out. Alright, now I just want to start with the E30 M3's overall styling. This thing just looks so good, so ridiculous. You've just got these flared fenders that just look so nice. You come back here again, you've got this wing, just so ridiculous, but I love it. Like, this thing just looks so good from every angle, and really, to me, this thing is a visual masterpiece. Now, just another interesting fact about this car is that this thing only shares 2 body panels from the standard E30. So you've got the bonnet and the roof, and everything else is completely different. And when you look at these cars side by side, you can really see the difference, and it's just amazing. Now, just coming down to the wheels here, guys, these of course are aftermarket. These are 17-inch BBS wheels, but I think they really do suit the car. But I'll show you a picture right now of what this car would have had from factory. At the rear, this thing just looks so good again. Love the taillights. It's got that square boxy style again. This wing, I know I mentioned it before, but just look at it. This wing is so nice. You got your BMW badge there, M3 badge, and then exhaust. Take a listen to this thing. As you can see, we are in a different location. We did get kicked out of the last location for whatever reason. We've actually been kicked out of 2 locations while filming this car. I don't know why, but we have. So I hope we don't get kicked out again. So let's continue. Starting at the front here, we just pop the bonnet here. I got to show you this engine. Magic. Lift this up. Look how cool this thing lifts up. This thing just, what a complicated mechanical Who engineered this? This is typical German engineering right here, but it is very, very cool. Now, of course, this from factory would have had an S14 engine. It was a 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated engine, made around 200 horsepower, and didn't really have enough power from what I've been told. This has an engine swap. So I know all the purists out there are probably going to be grumpy about that, but this is quite common to see. Now, this is an S50B30 Euro Spec, so we have the individual throttle bodies. This has been modified as well. We've got some carbon fiber airbox in here. The ECU has been upgraded. Minor things. This thing's pumping out now roughly 300 horsepower, and it feels pretty good, guys. This thing fits in here beautifully, and it just looks really nice. The engine bay is clean, but for anyone who wants to know the specifics, I'll leave a full mods list in the description below. All right, so inside the E30 M3 now, this is one of the coolest interiors. It's just so retro in here. I love the style. You know, you've got this beautiful wheel here. Now the owner has modified this. He's wrapped it in Alcantara. I think it's a really nice modification. Looks so good. Feels really nice in your hands. The gauge cluster just looks so cool. It's that retro BMW style to it. And this thing revs out to 7 grand. I just love how this whole console just faces the driver as well. So it's got that real kind of cockpit look about it. And when you're sitting in the driver's seat, it is just really, really a nice place to be. You've got your 5-speed manual gearbox down here. This thing just feels so nice. And just a standard shift pattern for this one. This is a US model. If you had a European model, you'd actually get a dog leg transmission. So first would be over to the left and down. That was more of a racing transmission. You know, you go from second to third a lot more easy. So the idea was your shifts would be faster. So just another cool thing about this car, you know. Now there are 2 back seats in the rear. They are quite bolstered as well. So that is a nice little touch that they threw in. And to be honest, the headroom is pretty good and legroom isn't that bad either. Considering this is a coupe race car, you know, there's actually a decent amount of room back there. But anyways, let's get this thing out on the road and just see how well a 30-year-old homologation car can actually still drive. All right, so driving this 1988 E30 M3, guys. This is just a treat. This is a treat, I'll tell you that. This car is just so unique, and just looks so cool. It's just such that 80s boxy style, and with those flared arches, it just looks so good. Let's throw 3, 2, 1. Oh, and the turn in and exit. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. And this is from a car from 1988. Hallelujah. This is like, whoo, BMW M. Now driving on the left-hand side of the car, me being Canadian originally, I am actually quite used to this position. I enjoy actually to shift with my right hand. But when you're on the left-hand side of the road as well, then it gets kind of tricky. You really got to be careful of drifting. You really got to be on the left side here, or you can drift into the other lane. But just got to get something you got to get used to. Oh, and just the pedal position and the gearbox combined, as well with this steering wheel here, the steering setup, oh, and then the seating position, they nailed it. They nailed it 110%. This thing just feels so nice to shift, so easy to get into gear, and everything just works so well. Oh, very, very nice. We're going 20k an hour roughly now, and just send it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Little bit of wheel spin there. Holy! Woo! Wow. The road was a little bit damp back there, so yeah, we did get a little bit of a wheel spin, but wow. Yeah, this'll definitely get you going. Sitting in the driver's seat of this car, the wheel, the gear shifter here, the gauges, this is just a beautiful, beautiful driver's car. And going around this amazing bend right here, just, oh yeah, and just easing onto it now, yeah, exiting, woohoo, baby. Oh, oh man, yes, yes. That's it right there. That is what makes this car so fun to drive, is just that handling aspect and that smooth, naturally aspirated power. Now obviously, you know, this is a modified engine, guys, but hey, this is just basically a 6-cylinder version of the 4-cylinder that this had originally, but this is like, oh, so good. Wow, that is some of the best acceleration, just for smoothness and just like a style about it. I don't know how to explain it, but wow, that was just so satisfying, so satisfying. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish the video off here today. Huge thanks to the owner Mervin for allowing me to take his E30 M3 out. This thing is just such an amazing car, and I can't thank you enough, mate. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This is just such a classic. What an amazing homologation car. One of the best touring cars of all time. And I love this thing. So I hope you loved it too. If so, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here. And we'll see you on the next